PlanetWalls here for round 3. So we lost last round. I guess what I learned is that you need to find some way to deal with those rings in a situation like that. That and Bloodthorn Vampire isn't very good. I don't think I'd play that in this deck again. The format isn't so quick that you need something like that. I'm more worried about him getting me in a situation that's hard for me to get out of with a ring. This hand, by the way, I decided to keep it because of the Rummaging Goblin primarily. I'm going to pitch that Bloodthorn unless it looks relevant. First guy to come down is probably going to be the Walking Corpse, unless I see a Plains, in which case Pacifism might be around, but I think the 2-power guy is just better. It's going to be attacking for 3, theoretically the turn following that. Got land in our hand. I would not mind drawing it as long as the Rummaging Goblin stays alive. I think Rummaging Goblin is really good and sealed. Perhaps misplay with that in the last round caused me to lose. Okay, so we do see a white card. Okay, so here's the question. He could Flames of the Firebrand me if I play Servant right now. And that would cause me to be in trouble. The difference between that and Rummaging Goblin is that the Servant deals 1 extra damage here. I feel like the Rummaging Goblin is better to play. Because I'd like to start milling away basically cards from my hand that I don't want. It's not necessarily going to be lands, because I do want to get to the Gorgon. That guy's hard to kill. Whoa. Make sure you're getting in there, little buddy. Keep on walking, corpse. The deck is kind of bizarre. My opponent says, nice play. Thank you. So let's see. Is that... No, that was before the Rummaging Goblin. I guess that was the attack that he was complimenting. Either way, I recognize it as a very nice play. So maybe these guys... Yep, okay, so I actually feel good about that. I know I talked up how I think Rummaging Goblin is valuable. Basically what I wanted to say is getting 1 damage in wasn't as valuable as keeping my Servant alive in the long term. He just rummaged away another Goblin. He's down to 4 cards in hand, and I'm not under any significant pressure right now from what's on the playing field. So this turn, Servant or Bloodthorn can come down. I think the Servant is the right play, though I probably wouldn't attack into anything with it. I might actually be willing to attack into something with a Bloodthorn Vampire. However, there are a lot of 3-drops. Let's see, how many 3-drops do we have? I'm going to check what the curve is, my deck. I think it's more likely we draw a 4-drop next turn, and so I wouldn't be able to cast that and the Servant at the same time. Basically what I'm trying to say is I would be willing to lose the Bloodthorn Vampire, but not the Servant upon an attack happening. And the question is whether or not I'd be able to play something with the Servant. So, he's going to do something, I think. So I believe that playing the Bloodthorn Vampire is the right play. And right now I'm playing for the long game, so I can get to the Gorgon. And so my plays right now are being dictated by getting to the long game, and I think it's more likely that I'll be able to attack with a Bloodthorn Vampire after playing the Servant. It'll be a Grizzly Bear, essentially. Rather than lose the Servant, or just be forced not to attack with anything because it's a more valuable creature. Jeez. Okay, so we've got a couple of turns to deal with that problem. This guy is going to get blocked. I have no problem with that. So I'm glad I played that guy. We have to get our Gorgon buddy down very quickly now. Okay, another land was not necessarily what I wanted to see in any way, shape, or form. Gorgon is going to have to live, and I'm going to be at a ripe 5 life, which is pretty dangerous given the deck he's playing. Just kill me with something. This guy, I think this is one of the best cards in this format in terms of like bomb mythics. It hits you really hard if you're not prepared for it that first turn. Granted, I had a slow hand, but I'm not sure how I would deal with that with... That's bad. Yeah, so I think I lose, unless I draw something like that. Okay. The problem with this is that he kills me on his turn. So I have to play the Geyser instead of the Gorgon, right? Because otherwise he swings over, I'm tapped out, and he deals 10. That's shocking. not sure if my deck is just subpar. I mean, granted, this Bloodthorn Vampire was extremely subpar, but at least killed a Goblin. This guy's getting in there, by the way, because if it can trade for anything, I'm happy, and I'm not worried about this Elf right now. Of course, he's just going to take it. So I can't play the Gorgon. I have to play the Geyser, and it's going to have to target the Furnace Wall after the 3-5. Then I have to rip something off the top. That's basically what's happening here. Like a murder. Would anything else cause me to live? Maybe. Yes, we're going to force him to pump that Furnace Dragon all the way. Yep. He's not going to do it again? Oh yeah, because the Visionary. So if he casts a 5-drop here, I guess I'll feel silly for not blocking this buddy. He did not, but he played another guy that makes my life difficult. Oh. Wowzers. Okay, so let's see if we draw something. It's something, but it's not enough. It's interesting. If I hadn't drawn as many mountains and I'd drawn swamps, this could have saved me the game right now. So if 2 of the 4 mountains I'd drawn had been swamps. I mean, that's just a question about how valuable this card is. I mean, a 5/5 Flying Haste is pretty rough, right? Coming down on turn 5. So, like, I don't want to underestimate that. No, I don't have any outs here, so let's tell him GG, move on to the next game. I got wall up that game. So, that 5/5 flying guy, watch out for that at the Grand Prix. I don't know what you're going to do about it. Just if they're sitting there with red, something that could hit you, you're in trouble. Okay, so let's see. Do I have anything over here in the white that I would want to board into? I think Aven Squire would just die to it. War Falcon would just die. None of that's exciting at all. Divine Verdict is another removal spell for it. I could, I suppose, splash that, but I think my removal suite is actually okay. Like, I only have this one murder. Duress can hit his Flames of the Firebrand if I draw it early. I suppose that would be effective. This Bloodthorn Vampire, it actually traded for something relevant, but it wasn't very exciting. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't have anything over here that looks super exciting, so I'm trying to figure out a game plan in this matchup, and that's sort of difficult for me right now. I could bring in Duress and try to deal with a removal spell. The Veilborn Ghoul also is not very exciting in this matchup, because I think I'm going to want to be blocking most of the time. So let's go ahead and bring in, what am I looking for? Fire Elemental, there it is. Then we've got one more slot. I don't think boarding into another color is right. And I actually do think my mana situation is okay, but you know what? I need Mutilate to be a kill condition for. I need it to be a kill condition for his dragon. So I'm going to cut a mountain, bring in a swamp. I'm going to use swamp with different art, I think. Yeah, so we'll ask ourselves if we ever see it. That'll be our test to see if that play harmed us or did not. And then I can bring in another guy, basically, just to block, I think. We could bring in Chandra's Fury, too. But that's so slow, I'm not really worried about that. Dragon Hatchling is obviously not great. We bring in Crater Eyes to set him back, that seems bad, too. I think I bring in the Duress, just to deal with something like Flames of the Firebrand, or even to check out his hand early. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and play first. It gives me more time to set up from that dragon. Gives him a little bit extra time to draw the dragon. It's okay. I'm not going to first turn Duress him, that's for sure. This hand is actually okay. So I might be able to hit his Hellkite with a Mind Rot after Duressing. If I didn't have these two in tandem with each other, or just one or the other, I would not keep this. I think this hand is okay, though. I'm going to lead off with the Evolving Wilds looking for a swamp. I'm thinking about my deck in general. I just wonder if it's too slow or if black wasn't powerful enough. I feel like Giant Scorpion is good, but I guess, like, maybe the only... only one murder isn't enough. Got some red removal and Flames of the Firebrand. White, I have that Divine Verdict, which I guess is good spot removal. Maybe would have been worth bringing in against this dragon, but I can't play only around the dragon either. At least I don't think so. At least this thins a land out of the deck, so I'll be drawing another one hopefully in the next 2 turns. Okay, Arsonist. That's okay. So maybe you guys would say that playing Mutilate with fewer than 10 swamps is just wrong. I'm not sure I think that. My own creatures are relatively low toughness in this deck, actually. So I'm not sure. I'm going to be playing the Scorpion next turn, so I do want to duress him this turn, especially because I get to see what's in his hand. Hopefully I net a removal spell.